Hello everyone, welcome into today's show. Now normally Bree and I go live on TikTok and we had some malfunctions with microphones. So what we've decided to do is just kind of recap our own personal readings and experiences and kind of put them into one video so that you can have maybe a quicker version of our reading on Lauren Dumolo. So that's right. We are doing a psychic reading on missing persons case Lauren Dumolo. And there's a couple of reasons we chose this case. First and foremost, she is a girl who went missing in my hometown, the place where I live currently right now. And another odd thing is she did go missing on Bree's birthday. And since we are really good friends, both psychic mediums, we decided to join forces to see if we could solve this case. So if you guys are ready, we're going to dive into our visions. Now, how we kind of work together, we feel like we work together a little bit, is we normally get different sides of the story, okay? And by combining the elements to which we got, we tend to find something that makes perfect sense. It's almost like she has pieces and I have pieces and we put them together. So I'm going to share my visions first because I believe a lot of what I saw happened before she went missing. And then I believe that Bree did get a lot of information to what happened to Lauren or where she went afterwards. Okay, so stay tuned and here we go. Now, when it comes to this case, there's a few things that you should know. That the police were not on top of this case from the beginning. There was some evidence that was planted, and this is not knowledge that this is not proven knowledge. This is knowledge gained from a psychic's perspective. Now, being so close to this area, I was able to go down to the park that Lauren was said to have gone missing from. Actually, a couple of her items were found at that park, which is why people believed she went missing from that park. So I went down to that park to get a reading from her, and a few things stood out right away. So I visualized Lauren walking on the outside of the park. I actually never saw her walk in the park. She specifically was showing me that she walked around the park that day. There's some house or there's a gathering or there's something on the outside of the park, a place that she would go, or a house of a friend or something of the sort. Now let's start with the visions of that night. So when I asked to get into the energy of Lauren, I immediately see her across from a gentleman. She's sitting at a small table. It feels like a small nook, like a small apartment. I do feel like they get into some type of argument. I feel like cheating on one another, or someone had someone on the side. There was some type of argument that got out of hand at that point. I do see a hand come right around Lauren's throat. Now, statistically, Lauren was only 4 feet 11 inches. So this man, who does look a lot bigger than her, it is very possible that I believe that she passed out then. There was definitely, she definitely went limp after this moment. The next vision that I am shown is I see Lauren inside of a car or a cab or a truck of some sort, and she's being driven to someone else's house. Now, this is an apartment, and the reason I believe it's an apartment is because as this truck backs up, I see like a big industrial green trash can, and then I feel like this person carried Lauren's body up a set of white stairs to an apartment building. The next image I see 2 men standing in a doorway, and they are looking at Lauren, who looks limp, and she is laying on like a futon or like a daybed. I feel the best way to explain it is like a poor excuse for a couch. Now, there are other images that I'm being shown that have to do with Lauren is showing me, I feel like I'm in a work truck. I feel like work truck is the best way to say this. I just have to say work truck. And I see a lot of sand, but I feel like it's a construction site, sand with a construction site or something along those lines. And I see it in the tires, and I see it in the carpet of the back of a car or the back of a work truck. The next image that I'm shown is a hose. So like a vacuum hose. So I see like a really long vacuum hose, and this hose is like vacuuming up sand, like off of carpet. Now I'm brought to the inside of a house. In this house, I'm brought to the bathroom, and I see Lauren I feel like she's tied up, and she's in the fetal position, like on the rug in the bathroom, on the floor in front of the tub. She has hit her head of some sort, that there is some type of injury But I don't know if it was done while she was already passed out or if this was something that happened prior. I didn't see it beforehand. For some reason, see like a little bit of blood in the bathroom, but I feel like it's from her head, hitting her head. Now, when I'm asked where Lauren is, when I say, Lauren, where are you? I did hear south. And I'm also shown, look, I just got this, compass, go south, compass. I asked where she is, and I'm shown this little box of a house, and it does not look like a normal house in Cape Coral. Like, I have to admit it. It does not look like that. It looks like a box, a square house that would kind of be in the middle of a field. It doesn't even look like it has a driveway, maybe a dirt path to get up to it. I do see like a line of trees or some like trees and really tall grass. It feels like it has a front porch, but the paint is peeling a lot. Like the paint is peeling off of this place a lot, and it has like black windows, shutters. Like it looks abandoned almost. And coming from this area, I'll tell you, there's not a lot of abandoned houses. So you'll see that Bree kind of had a difficult time figuring out whether or not Lauren was alive or not. And I have to tell you, when I first did the reading about a year ago, I had very similar problems, and I can't tell you why. I do feel, being from the area, I do feel like, you know, when you're from the area and you watch the news and it doesn't correlate to what's going on in your world, and you kind of realize and understand that the news is not projecting what actually happens. They're projecting what they want you to see. Now, I also know that Cape Coral prides itself in being a safe city. And I do believe that there is some underground trafficking that goes on. And what a better place to do it in some place that's labeled the safest city. Now, there's trafficking everywhere, guys. There's trafficking everywhere. And I do believe that there's something bigger here. I do believe that there's a group of people that were in on this. I do believe that some of them may have already went to jail for other reasons. I do believe that without Lauren's body, that we are not going to get justice for her. I'm going to turn this over to Bree. Bree has a almost completely different reading, and I do believe she's picked up at a certain place that maybe I've left off. Okay, so I hope you enjoy Bree's reading, and let us know in the comments what you think, if our two readings do make sense coming together, or if you think we've missed something in our readings that is key to Lauren's disappearance.
So going into this reading, for some reason, I just assumed that Lauren had already passed. And I think it was somewhere halfway through where I was like, I don't think she's passed, because this is one of the first cases I've done that, I don't know, there's so many moving parts, there's so many pieces, there's a lot of confusion, like I'm reading confused energy. First of all, I know that Lauren had ties in New York, okay, and then I heard Tribeca, and it's actually a little square in Manhattan. I feel like this personally, she had very strong ties to this place. There's something, I don't know, like a favorite store, a favorite place to go. And then I started picking up on a few locations. I heard Montego Bay, and then I heard Port Montego Bay. I'm going to find out that was in Jamaica. Okay, so bear with me. Jambalaya, and then Zatarain. Zatarain actually originated and was created in New Orleans. Now, Katie is in Cape Coral, in Lauren's hometown, or where Lauren lived when this happened anyway. I am over here in Ocean Springs, Mississippi. I'm about an hour away from New Orleans. So we're both here in the South. And it's interesting because not only did Lauren go missing in Katie's hometown where she lives, but the last day she was seen was on my birthday, June 18th. So we both have ties and a connection to this case. And then jambalaya, I'm like, what in the actual hell? Well, I know a lot of people eat jambalaya, but again, this is a main dish from, you guessed it, New Orleans, okay? And then I heard Trinidad. So after the fact, again, when I did my research on this, Trinidad and Tobago, if I'm saying this right. It's actually a little area on its own in Venezuela. It's one of the top sex trafficking places ever, period. Okay, so this felt very important to me. And then when I looked at the map, now New Orleans has a port of its own. A lot of in and out happens there. This is where slaves actually used to be brought, was through this port in New Orleans. I had a vision of like her being driven to New Orleans. And then there was this from New Orleans to Port Montego Bay, Jamaica, which come to find out her boyfriend, this Gabriel guy, actually has ties and connections. Was it Jamaica? I feel like it was Jamaica. I did see hands tied behind her back. I did feel like she had been beaten, maybe not to death, but that she was beaten. I heard the word concubine, when a man almost takes ownership of a woman, but she's not his wife. Like she has this lower status and lower role. And I heard prostitute twice. I don't believe that no means at all do I think that means that she was a prostitute. But this goes with the sex trafficking. I do feel like that she was meant to go into sex trafficking. I felt like there were 3 men. One of them had a very dark complexion. I feel strongly there were 3 men in this. I got master plan, and if you guys watch the full video, both Katie and I pulled, I know I pulled it a few times, the master plan card. I do feel like this was planned. Now I heard save me. This was one of the things that I heard that made me, gave me the influence that she wasn't dead yet. I don't even know why the hell I would hear call the doctor. My ears, there was something about her ears. And then I got outside, trees, July. Okay, I heard a female named Heather Rose. Then I heard alibi, pending trial, which makes me think that one of these men had an alibi. Someone's pending trial for something that had to do with this, okay? Asked her if there was any evidence, like where could we find evidence? And I heard and saw a shoebox under her bed. But this was almost 2 years ago now, so obviously it wouldn't have been there now. It would probably be destroyed. I heard find him, and then I said who, and I heard Michael, and then I heard Skip. So I don't know if Skip is like Michael's nickname, okay, but there's a Michael or a Skip that. And then I said, why did this happen to you? She said, I didn't listen to Joe. That shirt that was found in the park, I immediately heard planted, like that shirt was planted there. I'm going to be entirely honest. This case has very strange energy, like I was starting to say. And with the ties with New Orleans, with her boyfriend's ties to Jamaica or to those islands, I feel like why I'm struggling to get straight and solid answers. Yes, the energy is different depending on whether or not the person is alive or deceased, but there's so many confusing factors. There's a lot of strange messages coming through. I feel like there's something protecting this case, not just someone, because we kind of touched on how the police handled this shoddy, how it's almost like they turned their back or might have known something. But with big cases with sex trafficking, when it comes to going out of the country, it's almost like our own police don't really pay attention. They turn their back. There's something about it. They don't want to get involved for some reason or other. So for shits and giggles, let me see real quick. Trust and freedom in reverse. So that makes sense. Where's your body? Home in reverse, or hearth, comfort of home in reverse. So I strongly don't feel like she's in the United States. It's very possible that Lauren was put into sex trafficking. She was almost like the perfect goblins, the perfect opportunity, the perfect victim, where she had a history of drug use, someone who could just kind of disappear. And, people were even assuming that she had done it. I will tell you right now that Lauren did not leave on her own free will. Okay. I heard I would never leave my baby. All right. She was trying to better herself. She was trying to build something with her life.